Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another vlog of Taylor Talks. Today I'm going to talk about just some things I've learned throughout my internship. I know a lot of people are asking me like, what's my main takeaway so far? Or what's the most important thing you think you've learned? And to be honest, I've learned a lot of different things in my internship. And so some are just really minor things. Some are just things I've learned by living in my apartment, just living in New York City. So number one is you just can't care too much about what people think of you. I know that I've struggled with this my whole life. Like I'm always constantly wondering like what people think of me because I'm a people pleaser, 100% a people pleaser. If someone doesn't like something that I do or something about me, I'm like, oh, I'll change it, like no big deal. When you can't think like that because ultimately like you need to be yourself, you need to be you. And there are so many people in this world that you cannot care about what every single person thinks of you. Because there's some people that just are not gonna like you. Like it's just the hard truth. And so I have trouble coming to terms with that because I feel like I'm a very friendly person and I try to like be nice to everybody. So I'm like, so if someone doesn't like me, I'm like, what'd I do wrong? Like what did they not like, you know? And you just can't think like that because it eats you alive. So I've learned that you just kind of have to like, just be yourself, and if someone doesn't like you, then they're not meant to be your friend, and it's their loss, you know? So that's something that I've really worked on while being here is just kind of just going with the flow. You know, if someone gives me a weird look, like, oh well, you never know what they were thinking, and who cares? Number two is don't fret the little things, meaning like I overthink a lot of different things. So like for example, in my apartment complex, if I'm like in the hallway standing next to someone, I'm thinking, okay, like, should I say hi? Do they want to talk to me? Or do they want to be left alone? It's just stupid things that I overthink about that make you like nervous. It's almost like social anxiety, even though I don't really think I have it, but like in some ways I think I maybe do have a little bit of social anxiety, which I think a lot of people do in general anyway. But basically like don't fret the little things. Like if you want to say hi to someone, then say hi. If you like someone's shoes, tell them, because more than likely they were thinking the same thing as you. They were probably nervous to say hi to you, or they might like your shoes and were too nervous to say that. And so people just need to stop being so, I don't know, shy or embarrassed about speaking up. I mentioned my neighbor the other day that I met. Her name is Flo. She's my neighbor in my apartment complex. And the reason I met her was because we were out in the hallway together, her and I was just on my phone like being awkward because I didn't know if I should say hi to her or not. And she went, oh, I like your outfit. And I was wearing like the ugliest gray sweatpants ever with a cool gray sweatshirt, but still like I looked like a hillbilly going down to eat dinner. And I was like, oh, thanks. And she's like, oh yeah, it looks really comfortable. And then from there we went and got dinner, and then now we're like really close friends. So you never know what can happen. Never be afraid to speak up and say something if it's on your mind. You know, don't overthink things is a big lesson I've learned. Number three is, I would say, don't let people get you down. And this can go for like a lot of different things, but one thing that I'm noticing is just as an intern, like you are at the lowest level of a company, you know? And so sometimes you might feel like you're an annoyance or in the way, and really that's not the case, because as an intern you have, you know, the basic duties, small duties, but they're duties that really mean something to people, because number one, people want their coffee. It helps them function. Number two, you know, if especially in like the news business, I'm running papers that have elements on it to digital playback systems and stuff like that. And if they don't get the elements, then the show is going to be hectic if I don't do my job. So as an intern, sometimes you might feel less than or yada yada, but don't undervalue yourself. You're there to do a job, and just go show up and do it. Another example of this is today. It was actually a really cool day at the Today Show. The green room page was sick, and so they didn't actually have a fill-in, and I was the intern for the green room that day, so I literally had to be the green room page basically. So my intern duties plus whatever the green room page does, I did all of it. So really, really cool experience. I have not been trained on that, so I kind of just had to dive in and just go with the flow. But when I first got there, a little like I don't think they knew that I could do it. So they would make comments like, oh, like can the bottom concourse page come up and help, or like, you know, I wish we had more notice of this. I don't know. It wasn't like too bad. It wasn't didn't make me upset or anything, but you could tell that they just didn't think the intern could do it, and that intern happened to be me. So instead of speaking up and saying like, no, it's okay, like I think I got it, I have it under control, I just kind of sat back because I was like, okay, they're right, like I'm not trained on this, like okay, they don't really believe in me, but I'll just show them. So I silently sat back and did my job, and I think I did it well. It was a smooth morning. Either way, like don't let people get you down. Like that could have been very discouraging for me, them saying some things right in front of my face, but I didn't let it get me down. I did my job, and I think I did it well. So going off of not sweating the small stuff, I would also say, don't worry about the things outside of what you're doing right now. So for example, I go to Ohio University, right? I'm a junior this year. This year was supposed to be a huge year for me. I was supposed to take, and it still is going to be, it is a huge year for me, obviously. But I mean, back at OU, like I had a lot of stuff going on. I joined a sorority. I was supposed to be living in the house this semester. I'm supposed to be taking a ton of general education classes to get those out of the way. And I had to put all of that on hold because I got this internship. And so, granted, I'm extremely thankful and blessed for this internship. This is everything I've ever wanted in an internship. So I'm not like complaining about that at all. What I'm saying is like, don't sweat the small stuff. At first I was like, oh man, like I'm 100%, 115% taking this internship. I've always wanted the Today Show internship. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be behind at OU? Am I gonna be, I'm not gonna make as many friends in my sorority. I'm missing out on living in the house for a whole semester. There's just a lot of things that you overthink when really it's not forever. I'm here for 3.5 months. So it's not your whole life. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and just take risks. Because, what I thought of, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Not everyone gets to intern for the Today Show. Not everyone gets to come to New York City. It's a very, very cool opportunity that I have right now. And so what I thought is like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Ohio University. Those friends will still be there. I'm still in the sorority. I still have a whole semester to live, my spring semester in the sorority house. I can take my general educations when I get back. Like you can put things on hold. If it's really meant to be, if your friends are meant to be your friends, they'll be there when you get back. So I would say, even if you're someone who likes a plan, don't be afraid to diverge from the plan. Don't be afraid to sway, make some curves in your life plan, because you're never gonna have one set plan. Another tip I have is for those who are interning now or will intern in the future, don't be afraid if you have days where you feel like you're not doing enough, because as interns, like we are assigned like the lowest level things, even though they might seem stupid, like they do actually matter to the company. But once those tasks are done, sometimes we're sitting there like, okay, so now what, And I'm the type of person that always wants to be doing something. I feel useless if I'm not doing something, or I feel like I'm not doing my job. But just remember, like my manager even talked to myself and other interns about this, because we were wondering, if there's something we can do when we're not doing anything. And she told us like, don't worry, like you are gonna be days where it's slower, where you get your job done quick, and then you have the extra time. And that's not like a bad thing. So I know a couple people from the place that I live now in my apartment, they've mentioned like, oh, today was such a bad day, like I didn't know what to do, or I didn't really have anything to do. And I was like, oh girl, I feel you, because there are some days like that. Obviously you can always ask if you are close with a producer, if you're like in a news internship like me, if you always ask your manager like I do. So don't be afraid to ask if you can do anything, but if you don't have something to do, don't fret about it, because it's just part of the process of growing up. Like as you get older, you'll have more tasks. And honestly, coming from watching my mom get home at like 7 or 8 o'clock at nighttime, I wouldn't worry about having nothing to do right now, because when you get older, that's not gonna be the case. I don't know, enjoy this time, observe the people, observe the newsroom if you're in a broadcast internship like me. Just network, get your name out there, and just learn. That's what we're here to do. Also, you just have to trust your gut. And what I mean by this is, the other day I went on a shoot, and I really can't say any details about the shoot or, what went on or what it's about, because it hasn't come out yet. However, so I was the intern for the shoot, right? And we were shorthanded people, so I ended up getting to work a camera, which is crazy because like we have a whole crew team for that. We have cameramen who are like professionally trained to do this, and I was assigned one of the cameras. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it for sure, because why not, I love trying all different aspects of production. And So when we first started the shoot, the cameraman like set up the wide shot, that's the camera that I was on. And when the people came out though, the shot wasn't on the people because, I don't know, you really can't 100% anticipate where they're gonna be. So at first I was timid to touch the camera because I was like, I don't wanna mess up his shot, that's how he framed it, etc., etc. But then I was like, common sense, like the people aren't in the shot, Taylor, like half are, but half not. So I was like, no, I need to do something about this. So I just moved the camera, and then it ended up being what the producer needed. In the end, I did get the people because I trusted my gut. Like, don't wait for the higher ups to tell you what to do if like you really know something's wrong, you know? Just do what you think is best. Another thing I would say is to introduce yourself to people when it's an appropriate time, even like the hair and makeup people, because for example, at the shoot, you know, I have to go get the guests and talent and things like that. And so it's awkward if you're like in an elevator and like, you know, they know that you're like an intern, but they don't know your name. So sometimes you just need to be like, hi, I'm Taylor, by the way, I'm the intern. You know, it's not a big deal. Like, let them know your name. And then also, for example, with hair and makeup ladies, I had introduced myself to them a couple weeks back. And then when I went to go get them, they recognized my face. They even recognized my hair because when I met them, it was straight. And they were like, oh, it's your hair's curly today. And my hair is actually naturally curly, but it was just really cool because they actually remembered who I was. It wasn't like they were just saying they remembered. They truly did remember who I was. And that was all because I had introduced myself before. So don't ever be afraid to introduce yourself because, you know, if they forget you, okay. But at least you gave them an opportunity to remember you. So I always say, hi, I'm Taylor, I'm the intern. Like, don't be afraid because you never know who you're gonna meet. Even the hair and makeup ladies, like, they've been there a while, you know? Usually people who work for huge companies have been there for a while and they know people. So you never ever know where that's gonna get you. So last but not least, the main thing I've learned is to just have confidence. I've learned that I have confidence, but I need to definitely be more confident. You know, even if you are shy or timid about asking a question because you don't know how to do something, like, don't be. Because the jobs that we have as interns are little sometimes. They might seem like they're not important, but really they are important because they're the things that are needed, but that the producers or the higher-ups don't really have time to do. So you are needed as an intern, and don't ever feel like you're not, is what I've learned. So really just, even if you're truly not like a super confident person, just act confident. If you show up, you know, in a power outfit, nice blazer, whatever, look good, sit up straight, walk with confidence, then people are gonna take you seriously, you know? Just kind of fake it till you make it, because if you look confident, it's gonna help you act more confident. Be bold, be bold. So for those of you that have interned in the past and are now successful adults, please comment below. Give us interns some advice on, you know, some tips to be more confident, things that you wish you would have done as interns or wish you would have known as interns back in the day. Anything helps because we like to learn from the best and hopefully one day are like you. So thanks for watching.